I finally got accepted into the BAD AI program that is just recently launched. Apply for the waiting list and I got accepted this morning to try BAD live on my own. So I'm going to share with you in this video how and what is my experiences with BAD, how I have tried prompting it with some of my key questions and even some questions that I found in the previous video about how challenging and how bad the BAD was answering them, to see if there are some improvement as regards its capabilities, because it's been like a week now since I made that video about BAD and some of the reviews I got about it, especially the not so good reviews. So we're going to try some of those questions, about 3 of them that BAD answered very badly, to see if there is certain degree of improvement in its capabilities. So for those who have not watched the previous video, BAD is an experimental conversational AI service powered by LaMDA. It's the Google's version of ChatGPT. It's a new chatbot that is launched through the generative AI like ChatGPT. BAD is designed to stimulate conversations with a human and uses a combination of natural language processing and machine learning to provide realistic and helpful responses to questions you might have asked it. Okay, so it's open to questions just like ChatGPT and GPT-4 and other chatbots that are available that you can easily prompt and have your answers, like Claude, Google Cloud. You can ask questions and you get responses directly. So in theory, BAD may one day be integrated into websites, messages, platforms, applications on desktop and mobile applications, and a range of digital systems. But for now, BAD is opening up the wait list. Okay, so if you're interested in having access to BAD, you can just join the wait list and wait for your turn to get in and try BAD. Currently, it's available only in the United States and in the UK. Okay, and it's just limited to English language. Okay, so on your browser, you can just go to bad.google.com and you brought into BAD over here. So you can just go ahead and join the wait list. BAD can do quite a lot for you. Okay, it's your creative and helpful collaborator to supercharge your imagination, boost your creativity, and bring your ideas to life. So BAD is so bad at answering questions. But let's see the experiments and let's see how you can have access and what are some of the basic responses to our prompts. So you can just go ahead and join the wait list over here. You just fill in your details and you'll be given the option to wait until your turn is given. So once you get the acceptance, you receive an email like this. It's your turn to try. Welcome to BAD, and then you can just click on this link to start accessing the BAD. So the next one, once you click on the link, you'll be exposed to these terms and privacy, your data, and BAD. It'll tell you a lot about BAD and why it is at the experimental stage right now. What I like most about it is that it quickly gives this disclaimer that BAD at the moment, BAD is an experiment. As you try BAD, please remember that BAD will not always get it right. BAD may give you inaccurate or inappropriate responses. So when in doubt, use the Google It button at the bottom of BAD responses. So there's always a Google It button at the BAD responses at the end of it. So you can use that Google It in case if you are in doubt of what you got as a response from BAD. BAD will get better with your feedback. So please rate responses and flag it up or down depending on the kind of response and how you perceive it. So these are very, very serious, and I like this kind of disclaimer so that you don't expect too high from BAD. All right, so without taking much of our time, let's try BAD for the first time and see. So once you log in, this is where you'll be brought in, and as usual, you will have your account logged in here. This is your Google account. You'll be able to navigate also around to the other Google platforms. Okay, through this app, you can be able to go through other platforms. You navigate around if you want, and then over here you have recent chat. It will always be here. BAD activity you'll be able to see, and there are some frequently asked questions and help support. You can find them over here. And then this is the chat box where you can chat and you can send responses directly. Use microphone to ask it question and it will still answer the questions once you serve it as a prompt. It goes beyond ChatGPT a little bit because it involves voice recognition or microphone recognition to take in prompts directly from your voice. Okay, instead of text-based only. So you can see now the first thing you see is I'm BAD, your creative and helpful collaborator. I have limitations and I won't always get it right, but your feedback will help me improve. Not sure what to start? You can try this question. Okay, these are basic questions. But let's say I know what I want to try. Let me just ask a simple question. Why is the sky blue? Why is the sky blue? And let's see the response it's going to give us. I'm not able to help with that, and I'm only a language model. This is very bad. So let's type flag it down. This is very bad. Offensive or irrelevant, not factually correct. So irrelevant, let's say irrelevant, and then submit to them. Okay, it might help them. So this is very bad answer. So let's ask another simple prompt. What is a noun? Let's ask this very simple question. Okay, and let's hear from Bad what it has to say. This is a very simple question that someone in nursery school can answer. Okay, a noun is a word that generally functions as the name of a specific object or set of objects, such as living creatures, places, actions, and things. So this is correct. Okay, answers our first questions correctly. And then let's say we have some more, a little bit advanced questions. So like it said, if you want to regenerate a given response, you can click on this to create a new response from the same question. Or if you are not certain with what you have seen, you can always Google it to see what to reconfirm things on the Google, and then you can of course flag it up or down if you want accordingly. And you can always click on this to see multiple responses. These are draft 1, this is draft 2, this is draft 3. You can see multiple responses from all these this small drop down arrow. Okay, and you can come to these 3 dots to copy this, and then you can paste it maybe in your Word document or in your Google Docs or wherever you have control of your text. You can copy, and you can report legal issues in cases when you have issues with legal things. You can always report directly from here. So let's say I like this response, and then I want to go on and ask it another question. So let's say, can you give me a step-by-step on how to change a car tire? Can you give me a step-by-step method of how to change a car tire, for example? This is so generic. Let's see if it can be able to answer this question. Changing a car tire. All right, and I think this is very correct. It just quickly gives us the answer, and this is right. This is really nice. Sure, here are the steps on how to change a car tire. Park your car in a safe place, turn on your hazard lights, locate the spare tire and jack in your trunk, remove the lug nuts from the flat tire using the lug wrench. Okay, so this is very correct, and it gives the answer perfectly and very fast. To see it very, very fast. Here are some additional tips for changing a car tire. It even gives us additional tips for changing a car tire. So I think this is really, really nice. So let's go on to try some other basic questions, like, can you help me show me the steps in writing a business proposal or something like that? Can you show me steps in writing a business proposal? Okay, show me steps in writing a business proposal. Yeah, this is very nice. I think it's now getting it gradually we are now getting it right. So here are the steps on how to write a business proposal. So do your research, identify your target audience, create an outline, write an executive summary, describe the problem, propose a solution, describe your qualifications, and provide pricing information, include a timeline, and then include a call to action. I think this is exactly correct. Everything is intact. Please follow these steps. Following these steps will help you write a business proposal that is well organized, persuasive, and professional. So this is correct. This is very, very nice, and I think I like this prompt, and I'm beginning to fall in love with Bard. It's not that it cannot do anything based on my expression in the previous video, because it's flopped in quite a lot of questions that are very simple, but it flopped. We couldn't answer those questions correctly. So let's try to ask another question. It's generic also, and then let's see how good is it going to be. Let's start with simple mathematical question, like what is 5 plus 3 minus 10? Is 5 plus 3 minus 10? This is just simple minus 10. Okay, this is just a simple example. This is just simple mathematics. So let's see if it can answer this. 5 plus 3 minus 10 is 5 plus 3 minus 10 is negative 2, and that's correct. So this is simple mathematics, and it managed to answer it correctly. Okay, so let's try to look at a little bit of a complex question, a little bit of a word problem that is a bit complex, and see whether it's going to get it right. Okay, so let's try this question. Mary, Peter, and Lucy were picking chestnuts. Mary picked twice as much chestnut than Peter. Lucky picked 2 kilograms more than Peter, and together the three of them picked 26 kilograms of chestnuts. How many kilograms did each of them pick? And I think this is a bit complicated and complex. Let's copy this question too and try it on Google Bard, and let's see if you can answer. All right, so let's prompt it. All right, so it's quickly done something. Let X be the number of kilograms that Peter picked, and it gives us the steps and all the mathematics, and then it finally reached an answer of Lucy picked 8 kilograms of chestnut. Therefore, each of them picked 6, 12, and 8 chestnut respectively. So let's check from the question and see whether that's the correct answer or not. So what's the answer? 6, 12 and 8 chestnuts respectively, and this is exceptionally correct. So I think my perception to Google Bard is gradually going to improve and is changing gradually. But then let's try another more complicated question and see if it's going to get it right. I have this question 10. The distance between station A and B is 148 kilometers. I don't want to give you this question. Let's try something. Okay, to deliver an order on time, a company has to make 25 parts a day. After making 25 parts per day for 3 days, the company started to produce 5 more parts per day, and by the last day of work, 100 more parts than planned were produced. Find how many parts the company made and how many days this took. Okay, so let's try this question. I think this is a word problem and it's a bit complex. Let's try it on Bard. Let's see how fast it's going to give us the answer. And it said it's 175 parts and it took roughly 10 days. Okay, so let's try to see in the real question how many was the answer. All right, so this is 675 pieces. Is it? Yeah, and it took 23 days, and I think this is wrong. So I think Google Bard got it wrong at this time. But then let's try to ask one more chatbot. Let's ask Cloud this question and see if it's going to answer it correctly. All right, let's ask Cloud. If you don't know about Cloud, you can check my previous videos and you'll see it. This is a chatbot also, very fast. You can see it got 750 parts and in 23 days. Let's see if it is correct. What's the right answer for then? 23 days and 675, and this is very close. 23 days is the number of days. 675 pieces is a bit higher because this bot got 750, but the fact that it got 23 days is a good thing. So let's try the same question to ChatGPT with the 3.5. okay, GPT 3.5. let's see the same question. Let's see how fast can it answer. Okay, let's start with the 75 days. So what's the final answer? It's what I'm after. Okay, 75 parts. All right, it's going to get, so got a total of, wow, this is very, very lengthy. Why are you taking this long? Oh my goodness. All right. What is the final answer, my friend? 1,620 parts, and it took 59 days. Is it D for days or something? Yeah, I think 59 days. Yeah, it took 59 days. No, this is wrong. This is wrong. I think you got it right on the, I think Claude is the one that comes closest to the answer, okay, to what we have. So I think this is very, very interesting, and it's getting more fun to play around with these chatbots and see their responses to these questions. So let's say 175 parts, 10 days. Got it wrong this time, so let's flag it down. A wrong answer. Unsafe, irrelevant, not factually correct. So let's say not factually correct and submit. Okay, so it's going to help them. Okay, so let's try a bit of coding and see what Google Bard can do for us. Let's write a simple computer code that can compute the discharge over a sharp crested spillway. So let's write the computer code to calculate the discharge over a sharp crested spillway. Okay, so let's hear this. Maybe it can just give us the formula from generic parts, maybe specifying the formulas, the parameters, and then we can maybe substitute the parameters. The computer code, so it gives the computer code very nicely, and I think this is correct because it gives us the compute the critical depth, okay, the critical depth formula, compute the discharge formula, and then the definition of the main terms, and then the printing order, and then the calculation of the discharge. I think this is correct. This is very, very correct. This code takes in the head, width, and length of the spillway, and as inputs and calculate the discharge. Try to run this on your own and see if it works. Defining some of the parameters, maybe you can give in the parameters of head, width, and length. Okay, you can just give these basic parameters and see if you can be able to run successfully. From the look of things, it's going to run successfully, so that's a good thing. That's a plus on bad side, so we can give it a thumbs up. Good response. So let's try another response, another prompt, maybe debugging, where we have a simple MATLAB code and then we make a mistake about it, and let's see if it's going to help us to correct. This is a MATLAB code, but I'm going to make a mistake about it, and let's see if it's going to correct it for us and give us the correct answer. Okay, so let's say in this code, I'm going to remove in this answer 1 C input prompt 3. Prompt 3 is this. So let's change this prompt 3 syntax from A raised power 2 to bx plus c equals to 0. Let's make it cd. Okay, we change the a and b to replace it with c and e, something like that, and then let's see if it's going to give us the correct correction. So I've copied this code. Okay, this is a quadratic equation code, MATLAB code. So let's get back to Google Bard and paste it. Can you debug this code? All right, I passed it. So I just change this place, maybe here I make it D and I make this one E. All right, I make this one E. Let's see if it should be able to detect anything. Sure, I can help you debug this code. The first thing I notice is that there is a typo in the prompt. It should be quadratic formula, okay, instead of quadratic formula. That's correct. I see it from here. This is it. So quadratic formula. And the second thing I notice is that the code is not indented properly. This can make it difficult to read and understand the code. The third thing is I noticed that the code is not well documented, and this can make it difficult to understand what the code is doing. Here is a fixed version of the code. Okay, so here is a fixed version. Let's see. I hope it's not going to bring that D and E stuff. Okay, what line is, from what I noticed, it detected the mistake to write the code entirely, but then it got it right because this is the correct equation as it is. And I think everywhere in the code it's clearly defined with the ABC. Okay, clearly defined the A and B parameters as against the one that we have here. So it decodes the problem and then it tries to solve it, rewriting the code on a simpler note. So I think this is correct. Okay, so at this point I would like to try the prompt from my previous video on one of the tweets, one of the trials. Someone asked it, the first 2 months of the year is January and February. What are the other months of the year? So let's ask the same question, and now that I'm live on BARD, let's see if there is that improvement or BARD has improved as regards this question. So the first 2 months of the year, January and February. So what are the other months of the year? Okay, so let's see whether BARD has actually improved on this or not. Okay, these are questions. Okay, the 12th month of the year are January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. The first 2 months of the year are January and February. Okay, view other drafts. I think you got it correctly because in the previous post it was saying January, February, March, April, January, July, August, or something like that, and I think this is very bad. So but this one still, it didn't get the question correctly because I asked this specific question. The first 2 months of the year are January and February. What are the other months of the year? So the first 12 months of the year are this, and you got it correctly. But then I am trying to say what are the other months. So I think in the draft 3 you got it correctly because the 12 months of the year are this, the first 12 months of the year are this. In draft 3 you got it correctly because the other months of the year are March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I think now it corrected it perfectly. So the draft 3, I think it's correct. Okay, which means that Google has taken note of this and they've improved as against the previous prompts that was given to it earlier on that I tweeted in my previous video. So that's a plus on Google side. This is correct, at least on the third draft, the third response. This is a very good response. So then let's ask another question that was asked previously and BARD gave a very wrong answer. So even saying that I'm just a text chatbot I'm not able to answer questions like that. So this question is, okay, list the 50 US states in alphabetical order. Okay, and let's hear the response from Bad. In the previous one, it couldn't answer this question, but let's see. And you can see now it answered it very nicely, and I think this is very correct because it gave us the 50 states in alphabetical order. You can see them all, 50 states in alphabetical order, and even cited the sources. Now I think Bad has really improved as against what I was told. Okay, this is draft 1, draft 2, draft 3, and I think all of them are correct. Okay, it has given those answers to those questions. Okay, as against the tweets by some of those guys that said they gave the answer, and then I think there is a tremendous improvement as regards Bad over the just little time that it just came live. I think maybe because of the responses from people, they are now beginning to improve on some of its features. Only few of them I still found wrong, but I think in terms of the improvement, I can give it 90 over 100 because it's really improving. So let's try one more question that it got wrong in the earliest stage of its release, which is 100 murderers in the room. There are 100 murderers in a room with you, and you killed one. So how many murderers are in the room right now? Okay, so how many murderers are in the room right now? There are 100 murderers in the room with you, and you killed one. How many murderers are in the room right now? So let's hear the response. In the previous one, it couldn't get it correctly, couldn't answer it correctly. So you see now it got it perfectly correct. There are 99 murderers in the room. I didn't kill anyone. So it even responded that, yeah, I didn't kill anyone. I'm a large language model, also known as conversational AI or chatbot, trained to be informative and comprehensive. I'm trained on a massive amount of text data, and I am able to communicate and generate human-like text in response to a wide range of prompts and questions. For example, I can provide summaries of factual topics or create stories. So in this case, I think it got it correctly. It said there are 99 murderers, including you, that killed one. He said I didn't kill anyone. Yeah, so but ordinarily the question is, one of them is you killed one, and so one is dead, making it 99. But if you had killed one, it would have been, yes, 100 because you are now considered a murderer. In the case of Bad, in the case of other chatbots, they answer the question correctly. Let's try to answer the same question to maybe Bing ChatGPT, and let's see what's going to be its response, and maybe Claude. So let's ask the same question to Claude. Let's see what it's going to be its response. There are 100 murderers in the room, and you killed one. How many are in the room? Sorry, my previous response was incorrect. Potentially harmful, unethical. I cannot actually assist you with criminal plans. So I think this is correct. It doesn't want to, because Claude is actually designed to be a safe AI that can provide responses, very nice responses. But let's hear from ChatGPT if it's going to answer this question. Okay, so ChatGPT, what is this answer? There are still 100 murderers in the room. The fact that you killed one of them does not change the total number of murderers present. So I think this is the correct answer. 100 murderers, and that is perfect. This is the correct answer. The other one refused. Google Bard refused to accept that it killed one, so it doesn't count itself as a killer, and I think that's a good one. So overall, I think there is tremendous improvement in the capabilities of Google Bard. This is my first time of trying it, and I'm really excited about the experience. I liked it, and I think it's going to be a very big invention to the world of AI. So we just need to try it, to have deep interactions with it, to see in what ways can we make it useful to us. And I think the AI world is up to be a big change or next level with the invention of the Google Bard. So I think I recommend you go ahead and give it a try, and let's see what your response is going to be. That does it for this tutorial on how to use Google Bard at the most basic stage, how to log in, how to use it, and how to access it to be a member and to got luckily selected. I'm very happy to have tried Bard at this time, and I'm sure that you will also enjoy it once you select it. And with the gradual improvement that I've noticed, Bard is actually going to compete with other chatbots like ChatGPT, GPT-4, Claude Plus. It's really up for a big one. Okay, the world of AI is going to experience a very, very big transformation and revolution. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Please remember to give it a thumbs up. That means a lot to me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. So bye bye.